Using your 1-inch flat brush, start off by painting your background a solid blue. I am using ink spot blue, which is a little darker than I would have liked. Feel free to use a lighter blue. Then mix a lighter blue by adding little bits of blue to your white until you get to the color you want. Then use the light blue to add highlights to your water background. Imagine where your snowman will be and try to contour the ripples around it with the lighter blue. Don't bother giving the ripples a whole lot of definition. We will go back over them again later. Don't overwork your background. When you have it the way you like it, let it dry. Using a 1/2-inch round brush or a smaller brush if needed, start painting a snowball for the midsection of Olaf's body. Start out small. You can always make it bigger as you go along. Then when you finish that, you can draw the rest of his body around it, making the bottom half of his body bigger. And his head is kind of an odd shape, so just take your time and do it slowly. Start filling in the shapes using a wider brush if needed. Don't forget a little tip for his nose. The orange will look much brighter over the white than it would have over the blue. Finish coloring in the other shapes and then start working on the legs. You're going to want to make the legs just a little more square than the other shapes. And then do the same for the other leg. And then just go ahead and touch up the white where you think it's a little bit thin or streaky. Using a dark blue or a mixture of your original blue and black, add some definition to the ripples around Olaf, contouring around his body, and just adding extra ripples here and there for extra texture to the background. Then using the light blue you mixed earlier, highlight the ripples again. Now painting the arms. Start off by making a solid black line in the general shape of the arms. Then highlighting over them with your brown. You can leave it fairly streaky to add textures to make it look like wood. Using a smaller round brush, use the same technique used on the arms, the black and the brown, to make his hair. And now for the charcoal buttons. Then repeat twice more for the buttons on the lower part of his body. For his nose, you're just going to take your orange and make this strange teardrop shape, making it big enough to reach the center of his face, and then painting it solid. You may also draw on Olaf's face with a number 2 pencil. Then mix together a gray-blue color using your light blue, but adding more white and maybe just a little bit of black if desired. Then shadow underneath the snowballs and the details on Olaf's face. Then painting over your pencil marks, go ahead and fill in the black around Olaf's tooth to complete his smile, and then paint his eyes as well. Feel free to look at a reference picture for this part. Don't forget his eyebrows. Add some highlights to his eyes and nose. And also shade under his nose using orange and brown. This part doesn't need to be too dark. And you are done. I hope you enjoyed this lesson.